Welcome to Ski Tips, the show for those who ski and those who want to. Welcome to Ski Tips, the show for those who ski and those who want to. I'm Bert Knitter.
And I'm Jim Skidmore. I'm going to give you an orientation to some of the equipment you'll need the first time you decide to go skiing.
And I'll be showing you some exercises you can do at home and on the slopes. Jim, you know, sometimes I think the beginner has a lot of problems because they're not adequately prepared the first time they go to the slopes.
Exactly, Bert. I think we ought to give the folks at home a few things to consider the first time they decide to go skiing.
Well, something I'd like to tell them is go to the ski show in your local area. They're usually a month or two before it snows, and you can get an idea of what the ski experience is all about, the travel, the equipment, and what you should do to fully get prepared for it. Another thing that you can do, and this one's free, it doesn't cost you any money, is go by your local ski shop. And they usually have handouts from the major equipment manufacturers and the National Ski Patrol that tell you how to ski safely and give you some timely tips. What would you like to add to that, Jim?
Well, Bert, I think I'd suggest that rather than trying to purchase equipment, particularly if they're new skiers, that they rent equipment from the local ski shop. Some of the advantages to that are that you have time to be sure you're properly fitted, your boots fit, the skis fit, and that you have the equipment, because otherwise you may go to the slope and find that they don't have equipment or that they don't have your size, and your trip is a disaster.
And once you get there, make sure you take a lesson.
Absolutely. Lessons are very important to the beginning skier.
I've arranged on the set here some items that you might find in your home, a stool, a little timer, and a couple other pieces of exercise equipment. And I'm going to show you now some exercises that you could do right now. You can do them with me if you want in your living room. You can do these to prepare for the ski season, and then you can use them later on in the ski season, as I'll show you later on, as warm-ups. First thing, a broom, a mop handle, anything that you might have, a dowel. We start off twisting from side to side. You can do anywhere from 10 to 50 of these exercises. We want to make sure that we stretch out in all various directions, and we go forward and back and down towards the toes. Stretching out, loosening up as we go. Now, the shoulders and the arms are important in skiing. Here's an exercise you can do. You hold on to the dowel, then you rotate it, and it stretches your shoulders back and loosens up as you go, stretching out fully. Some of the other exercises that you'll want to do will be mostly for the legs and a little bit for the arms, and mostly for cardiovascular endurance. We want to do some leg lifts, bringing the knee to the chest. Do these on both sides. Then we want to hit the deck. We want to stretch out the hamstring. This is very important in skiing. We stretch and hold. You want to hold the stretch for about 10 seconds. Just count to yourself. And stretch the opposite leg and hold. You'll feel a little bit of stretch right here behind the knee. Speaking of the knees, they're key in skiing. And one of the things we want to do is stand with our feet rather close together and roll the knees from side to side. Once you start skiing, you'll know what this is for. And reverse direction. Get a little drop as you come down. Now, if you have a little stool like this around your home that you use to get those dishes on the top kitchen shelves, and you probably have a little timing device at home. You can set this for maybe 2 or 3 minutes to start, maybe 5 minutes at the end, and the basic exercise is just stepping up and stepping down. We should do this again for 2 to 5 minutes. When you want to switch legs, take an extra step. Then you're not always leading with the same leg. Another piece of equipment that you might have around the home might be a jump rope. It's an excellent aerobic activity. We can do jogging activities or bicycling activities. When you jump rope, you want to go just like you're skiing and go from side to side. Another activity that you can do is a very simple twisting activity. You can do this on 2 pieces of cardboard. Twisting from side to side, again, getting the rotation and getting down on the knees. Twisting, make them wide and short. And the last thing I'm going to show you, if you happen to have an aerobic exercise at home, and I'm going to take off my shoes and socks before I do this, it's also excellent, and we're doing basically the same type of exercise, working on the knees, the legs, and cardiovascular endurance. I'm going to show you those follow-ups. Remember we talked before, I'm going to do the same exercises. I'm going to show them to you now as you do them on the slopes. Remember our old broomstick? Well, that's been replaced now by our ski poles. Again, we twist from side to side, up and down. Now, my mobility is a little bit different because the boots immobilize my ankle, so I can't get quite the motion that I did before, and forward and back. But I'm getting the benefit of the warm-up. And remember, we roll forward and back for the shoulders. We did the leg lifts before. Now we do them again. They're a little bit awkward on this mat. Let me just step over to a firm surface here. A little bit heavier because you've got the weights of the boot. The knee rolls, again, we can do them just like we did them before, and I'm also going to do these later on with my skis on. Now, step into the skis. Check to make sure that my bindings are on properly. And we'll simply sit back and stretch out and come forward. And again, this is a squat type exercise. And again. Now remember our friend, the hamstring, we want to stretch that out. Bring the ski forward, stretch and hold. These are a lot easier to do, by the way, on the snow than they are on the television set. And the other leg, stretch and hold. And we bring it back. Now we're ready to do our old friend, the knee again. Now you can see the movement that they put into the skis as we're rolling, as Jim talked about the edges from edge to edge. And speaking of edging, now we'll do some edging from side to side, keeping the skis pointed down the fall line. There's a lot of jumping activities. Remember we jumped rope before involved in skiing. Just to give you the basic ski type motion, using the poles for timing, as Jim pointed out, and coming down the slope and right into your living room. And now let's go back to Jim.
Thank you, Bert. I simply wanted to say that we look forward to seeing you all on the slopes, and as the Austrians say, their word for skiing is skiing, Skihajo.